what are we gonna talk about today? Oh, these allergies, man, are so bad here. But what are we gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about change. What is change? How do you measure change? Are you conscious of yourself changing? Now, why is changing good? Well, changing happens whether we like it or not. A bit closer. Change happens regardless of what we say or do. Just as a tree changes from a seed to a sapling, to then a full-grown tree, to then dead wood, to then into something else, we change, we grow, we age. And I think you decide yourself how consciously you recognize your change. Do you think, wow, I was different then to where I am now? And why is that so? And I think it's important to change because every day we're learning new things, right? We're waking up with new desires, new needs, new wants, a new idea or picture in our head of who we want to become and where we want to go. So changing is automatic. And I think sometimes we can resist change because we feel that what we have is good and what we have right now is the best for us. And we don't want to let anything go because then we might lose that self-perceived value of that thing. But the thing is, what I found, I think, is that value doesn't come from the external. You have possessions, you have friends, you have family, but they're not the source of what you should hold value to. I just want to cut in here because I was watching it back and I said, stuff externally you shouldn't hold value to, and that's not what I was getting at. Well, I said that wrong. You should hold value to everything in your life and everything external, everything you have and you appreciate and you have gratitude for. I think what I was getting at was to have your own back and to realize your own power in doing the things you need to do and not looking externally for that validation. That's what I was trying to get at. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And what do I mean by that? I think I mean that everything you have to gain in life or that you have to achieve is just extra. And the thing that's the magic is what's in us, what we've always had in us when we were born or even before that. It's that essence, it's that life, our soul. And things change around that, our characteristics, our preferences, our looks. But at the core, it's this pure divine magic. And I think we forget that. I think we forget the importance of our godhood, because we are gods at the end of the day. We're the creator of our own realities. What we think is what we get. And it's hard to think that when we're doing taxes, paying bills, or doing all the mundane things you do in life. But you've got to remind yourself how kind of holy we are. Because then if you recognize that grandiose importance, then you think, oh, that's what's good. That's what's important. And then you look at the rest of life, like, okay, how does this serve me now? I remember when I didn't really think about that. I thought of others first before myself. And it's funny, we put this word selfish. Being selfish is a bad thing. Being selfish is good. Being selfish means you're thinking of your health or your preference, I'll say again, first. Because it's so easy to be a people pleaser these days. It's so easy to conform to other people's expectations of you. But if you actually go, hold on, I'm just going to actually do what I need to do first. And that might upset people. And that's what I mean. That's changing. It's evolving. It's being flexible and adaptable to your environment. Is your environment supporting your desire, your goals? And are your goals supporting your environment? These things have to work together. You can't be in a bad place and just fingers crossed something good is gonna come up to you and you're just gonna pick it up and go along. No, you have to put down the foundation and you have to consciously decide, okay, I'm gonna do these steps in order to do this. Because we can't ignore, well, you can ignore the world around you. We can be a zombie these days. We can go to work, come back from work, look at our phones, watch TV. We can be half dead, really. But if we decide to, okay, I'm gonna be the creator of my own reality, I'm gonna send out vibration that I want back, I'm gonna put my first foot forward, and I'm gonna go. And I think that's the beginning of something really good that you can find yourself having. So change is good. Change is needed. You need to facilitate change and recognize when it's happening so you can further yourself. There's this Duncan Trussell montage I watched on YouTube a couple days ago. And he says, healing is, hold on, I'll get it right. Healing is realizing you were never sick in the first place, which I think is a really nice thing. It shows that despite all the hardships in life, we never lose that life essence, I'll say. So yeah, recognize when you need to change, because that's when life can get better. And don't just settle for second best. You know, what's the point in that? What's the point of trying to help someone else's dream and not your own? You've got to be selfish. You've got to be self-aware. This whole thing about spirituality and, you know, all this sort of language, soul and love and whatever, it's all from awareness. Awareness, awareness, awareness. It's being aware of how you feel. It's being aware of how that person makes you feel. It's being aware of your habits and being reflective of what maybe isn't the best part of you. Knowing your faults, I think, right? I was talking to this about someone the other day. Being reflective and knowing what you lack and also what you know, are special in or talented in. There's a balance to it. Because if you're reflective in what you lack, then you can be like, okay, you can recognize that and be like, how do I go about helping this out? Because the problem doesn't get fixed by focusing on what you lack. It's focusing on that thing to help you not lack, if that makes sense. It's focusing on the solution, the action, the positive feeling that you can get out of that. And yeah, change, you could get trapped, and it's about approaching maybe the same subject in an unfamiliar way, right? I just stole that quote from a book I'm reading, so that's not mine, but it's true. And I thought about this, maybe if you brush your teeth with the opposite hand, right? Or where you normally sit to have your cup of tea, maybe sit somewhere else, over there. Change your habits, even in subtle ways like that, because that could maybe unlock something. It could be like, oh, I could do this route instead of the one I always take. You know, try something new, eat something different, try a new activity. Because then life just kind of keeps interesting. And you can find maybe what you didn't even know you liked. You know, this life is all about exploring and figuring out what works for you. And to do that, you have to first step into the unknown and see if it works out. I had my hair long, the man bun. I had it for like 1.5 years, and I just felt that I needed to change it. Now, is this haircut better? I don't know. I'm not sure. But the change, the transformation was almost more important than it looking better than it did, if that makes sense. It's about being comfortable with that decision and being like, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna regret it because it's all a process. I might change. The thing is with hair is it never really lasts that long. You can always change it. You can always cut it or let it grow. But yeah, maybe in a few months I'll try something different. But thank God I picked that decision to chop it all or most off, because then I wouldn't have this new perspective. So yeah, I wrote a little rhyme about change, because I think writing stuff down, I said it in my journal video, it's really good at getting like ideas and analogies down on paper. Something to do, you know. There's something about rhyming that's quite satisfying as well. I think that's why, like, you love freestyles, right? Like people just riffing and making it flow. It's quite cool. So, I said, facilitating change is like moving with range. Like a scientist burning some sage, you switch lanes. So you can keep sane when it rains on this physical plane. Catch a flight to your next opinion, consider what's right with precision. Everything revolves around your decision. What's a yes and what's a no? Choose before you even know. Say it, then go. All while keeping that ego in tow. Even at low tide, look forward to the highs. This game of life always ends with a tie, so you might as well give it a good fucking try. And when that opportunity presents itself, you turn around and say hi. Because just like a roller coaster, you strap in and you enjoy the ride. So yeah. Change with change. Consciously know when you're changing. Because who wants to be the same person they were back then? No one. You always want to be stepping off that previous platform of life and experience. Now, the little bit of video where I had long hair, that was a couple days ago. Actually, you know, that was actually last year. That was in 2024, now it's 2025. And even those 3 days ago, I've changed a lot. Or not a lot, but I have better habits. I have new ways of getting better sleep now. I realized yesterday. So it's, you know, it's all relative, and I put that in my conscious thought process in the day. So now not only do I have a different hairstyle, I think I'm a different person. I'm a better person. So yeah, be aware, change, be comfortable with it, because other people are going to change whether you like it or not. So you might as well do it. Thank you for listening. I'll see you later.